Imagine a world where every handshake hides a calculation, where every smile is a strategic move, where power doesn't just flow, it's taken. What if the rules of influence you've been taught are illusions, and the real game operates in the shadows? What if the difference between those who lead and those who follow isn't talent or virtue, but a cold understanding of human nature? This isn't just about politics or business, it's about the unspoken truths that shape empires, relationships, and even your own life. And today we'll descend into the mind of one of history's most controversial thinkers, Niccolo Machiavelli, to uncover the art of control, not as a moral lesson, but as a mirror held up to the darkest corners of power. Because what you'll hear in the next few minutes may unsettle you, challenge you, even change the way you see every interaction you've ever had. And the final revelation. It's the most dangerous of all. It's the key to seeing the strings before they're tied around your wrists. Machiavelli, the Renaissance philosopher whose name became synonymous with cunning, wrote a manual for rulers that was never meant for the public eye. The Prince wasn't a book of ideals. It was a blueprint for survival in a world where morality was a luxury few could afford. He argued that the greatest leaders aren't the most virtuous, but the most adaptable. Those who master the balance between fear and love, cruelty and generosity, deception and truth. Think of the most powerful figures in history, the ones who shaped nations, toppled dynasties, commanded loyalty unto death. Were they kind, or were they strategic? The answer lingers in the silence between their words and their actions. But here's the unsettling truth. Machiavelli's principles don't just apply to princes and generals. They live in your workplace, your friendships, even your family. Every time someone withholds praise to keep you striving, every time a rival subtly undermines your confidence, every time a leader sows division to consolidate power, you're witnessing the Machiavellian playbook in motion. The question isn't whether manipulation exists, it's whether you're the player or the pawn. Let's dissect the first law of control. It's better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Machiavelli didn't say this because he admired cruelty. He said it because he understood human nature. Love is fickle, but fear is predictable. It's the glue that holds hierarchies together when loyalty falters. Think of the boss who rules with quiet intimidation, the parent whose approval is always just out of reach, the partner who keeps you off balance with intermittent affection. These aren't accidents, they're strategies. And they work because most people would rather obey than risk the unknown. But here's where it gets darker. Machiavelli warned that the appearance of virtue matters more than virtue itself. The most effective manipulators don't lurk in shadows. They stand in the light, draped in charisma, preaching ideals they have no intention of upholding. They know that perception is the only reality that matters. So ask yourself, how many of your beliefs about the good and the just have been carefully planted by those who benefit from your compliance? How many leaders have you followed because they seemed honest, not because they were? And now the second law. Never take away a man's property or his honor. The first will make him desperate. The second will make him vengeful. This is the delicate dance of control, knowing what to take and what to leave untouched. The modern equivalent. Social currency, reputation, identity. Strip a person of their status, their dignity, their sense of belonging, and you create an enemy. But leave them just enough to lose, and they'll police themselves. This is why cult leaders isolate their followers slowly. Why corporations dangle promotions just beyond reach. Why governments stoke tribal loyalties. It's not about what's taken, it's about what's threatened. Which brings us to the third law, the one Machiavelli whispered between the lines. The ends justify the means. But here's what he didn't say aloud. The ends are always shifting. Power isn't a destination, it's a perpetual motion machine. The moment you stop consolidating control is the moment someone else begins. So the game never ends. The rules just change shape. Now pause, reflect. How many of these patterns do you recognize in your own life? Have you ever flattered someone to get ahead? Withheld information to maintain an edge? Played dumb to avoid a threat? If your answer is no, look closer, because the most dangerous manipulators are the ones who've convinced themselves they're innocent. Imagine a room where every person is both a puppeteer and a puppet, pulling strings while feeling the tug of others. This